The upside down world. Were we all aborted? If you're here, you're meant to hear this message. We opened a portal live on TikTok called The Looking Glass. This is an alchemical art technique of covering a piece of paper with charcoal and allowing spirit to show us symbology, numerology, geometry, astronomy, and energies coming forward, ascended masters, deceased loved ones, to teach us about where we came from and where we're going. According to the symbology within this piece, we are being told something quite significant. So the person at 12 o'clock is Vicky, and she is on a motorcycle. There's a lightning separating her world from a lower world to an upper world. And we begin with death and we end with life. There are numerologies and even planetary systems that are being presented here. We're going to talk about Stargates, and we're going to be talking about where we came from. So the numerology within this piece reflects these parallels in gematria, and they are little clues as to where we came from, where we're going, and what's happening in our world. Being androgynous and being cut, kind of like Adam being cut from Eve, and the birthing or the coming of the Holy Spirit. This is a spark within us. And then I saw that it paralleled with the Hell's Angel Motorcycle Club. And I was asking Spirit, what does the Hell's Angel have to do with Vicky on a motorcycle? And I was taken to the history of the Hell's Angels, because I always thought the Hell's Angels were just a bunch of jerks. And yeah, they did a bunch of jerk things, but they also represented living in a narcissistic reality and fighting back against that reality. And Spirit told me, don't look too much into it. Look into the word hell and angel. And I was brought to dreams about motorcycles. This is very important because life is but a thought and a dream anyway. So you can look up dream meanings even in literal terms. And it's about rebellious nature of life, but it's rebelling against a dark underworld. Now you have the number 424 on the Stargate. It is a snake eating its own tail, but the snake eating its own tail was broken. So it reflects a portal and a polar shift. And this was in the lower world, the world of death. And it's like an upside down world. So hell and God's angel of light. So there's a story here about how we were born in an upside down world. We were born in a reptilian dominated world. And this world has a Stargate. And according to some of my research, these Stargates are everywhere. There's even a Stargate a movie called Stargate 101. And the interesting thing about that movie, with the title being Stargate 101, is in this piece, there's a Stargate, and if you look right above the lightning, it says 101. Now, the 101 reflects the sun being in the center, and the two towers reflect like a gate, a gateway. And so the two towers, the number 11, reflects that the sun flips every 11 years, and the sun itself is a Stargate. So some of the numbers come paralleled with believing the unbelievable. And so I'm going to present to you something that I'm not sure I believe myself, but according to the symbology, we're going to talk about there's the possibility that we were all aborted and our souls were very small, and we had to grow our spirit in a harsh upside down world to go to the real world. So according to my research, there's portals all over the place. The CIA and many adept spiritual astral travelers know that there are portals, and these portals open and close every 8 seconds. And so the number 8 and the snake are closely related. And these portals are star systems and star clusters, like the Pleiades star cluster. And these clusters have numbers. So you have the number 884 and near your motorcycle. And this 884 is a star cluster. And the star cluster that's on the Stargate is 424, which almost seems to be half of 884. This is what the 884 star cluster actually looks like from the telescope. You have to wonder, as above, so below, if our spirit isn't somehow connected to these particular star clusters. But the 424 star cluster is called the Wolf. And if you look at your piece, this star cluster was broken and shattered, and the snake eating its own tail was cut and broken. And there's a dog right next to the Stargate that is the tire or the wheel, the reincarnation wheel of the motorcycle. So that dog that we see here is the wolf. But Spirit always talks in doubles, triples, and quadruples layers with each symbol. So the wolf represents also the dog, which is Sirius B, the dog star. So we shifted, we died. And if you also look next to the dog, there's a dragon. And the dragon was cut in half. This means that the draconians, the reptilians, the archons no longer have dominion over us, because we went from the wolf, the draconian star system, to bouncing away from it somehow. We were cut like lightning, like a thief in the night. It was cut, and we, according to your symbol, we died. So you have the letter MM on your hands, and so you are a Syrian, and you come from either Sirius A or Sirius B. And this is connected to the Mengu and the Mer people, and the Master and Mother Mary, and Mary Magdalene, MM. Mary Magdalene was the master magician. And this master magician, star system, Sirius B, is where you bounced to. And merging our energy back into an upper world and leaving a lower world, we really have to not have the mental mind of these Hell's Angels or the dark underworld or the upside down world, because this new world requires that we become obedient to the Galactic Federation and to a collective consciousness. Now look here at the archons at 11 o'clock and the girl holding an infant. And the two scrolls that make 666, the spirals, are spells and curses. And so there's something about we were aborted, and the curse in the spiral starts out as a fetus. It looks like a spiral, okay? And this fetus makes a scroll, and we were aborted according to your symbology. So the allegory of Dorothy being in a place where people were young souls. They were short of understanding. They were ignorant. So the ignorant scarecrow, the narcissistic tin man, the shaming and blaming lion, these were all young souls that didn't grow. So if we were aborted, we weren't given downloads, and we weren't given memories of our past life, because we were cut off. And so we were taught through pain and suffering, because we had to awaken, and this awakening was painful. So these reptilians, the reptilian wicked witch, and the draconians, and all of them, they had to push us to grow. And it takes pain to grow. The 7 wounds of Christ was painful. It was painful. And this pain grew our spirit. So they're not evil. They know the butterfly effect. They can look into the future through a Stargate and see how pain will make us grow. So we were born in the upside down world, many of us, and we were, apparently according to your reading, we were aborted. And so Dorothy, being a tall soul while everyone else was small, reflects that she grew her spirit to the point of being able to walk the yellow brick road, to transform from gray. You can see the gray moon right there in the center, from lead to gold, the yellow brick road. And so this is an allegory of following the golden age of Aquarius and following the sun, the number 11, the number 111. And so Dorothy had to defeat the reptilian wicked witch and fighting the negative ignorance within her. And she followed Glinda, who wore the corona borealis. Glinda reflected the corona crown. And this corona crown, she held the blazing star in her hand. So she followed truth and life. And that's what your piece represents. And so leaving the matrix and the moon and introducing yourself to another MM instead of the matrix and the moon, Mary Magdalene, and your original home and your original truth. So the peacock at around 6 o'clock reflects, the peacock was the original phoenix. So it reflects a collective consciousness. It reflects peacock. It means we were androgynous, both male and female. Adam was Eve, Eve was Adam. We had wings, we could fly, we could astral travel, we had memory. But somehow we were cut from our memory, and it's as if we were cut like aborted. And so although we experienced having a mother and a father, and we experienced this world, we experienced it from the upside down world, and our memory was cut from us. So in order for us to go back to truth, we have to awaken from ignorance and awaken from this narcissistic reality, and somehow bounce ourselves through growing our spirit to the real world, which is the world full of light, which is the sun. So you have a book on your head, and this is you standing in between two worlds. This is another symbol of being in balance of androgynous and male and female energy. But it also reflects being an open book and what's on your mind, and teaching people what you have learned and helping those from the upside down world. The character 11 from Stranger Things now makes a lot of sense when it comes to the sun. The sun is the number 111, and it flips every 11 years, and it is a Stargate. Now it makes sense why Dorothy had no mother or father, why Harry Potter had no mother or father, why Harry Potter equals 11, Jesus Christ equals 11, and Dorothy Gale equals 11. Also makes sense why on Stranger Things the main character's name is 11, and she didn't have a mother or a father either, because they didn't know that they were aborted or miscarried. Something happened to our soul where we were cut from our divine birth. And this divine birth put us in a dark underworld where our souls were too small to be able to go to a better world. We wouldn't be able to handle it. It would kill us. So we had to go through pain and suffering and awakenings in order to grow our spirit and regain our throne, regain our memory, and regain our crown. So the number 8 next to your face reflects portals and stargates. So you are here to open portals and stargates as well. The loaf of bread right beside your head reflects that your daily bread has changed. This means your reality has changed. You are a destroyer of old worlds and a bouncer to new worlds. Because you've gone through it, you can use your knowledge and information to share that bread of life with the world. And because the book is on your head and you're an open book, what you know needs to be shared with the world so that everyone knows the truth, and the truth will set you free. Please investigate all of the symbols within your piece on your own and research and awaken to symbology, numerology, and alchemical symbols to awaken your subconscious mind and to grow your soul. Now we know why the Twin Towers looks like the number 11, and 911 is 9 plus 1 plus 1 equals 11. It was a symbol of your original self. It was a symbol of the sun. It was a symbol of a stargate. It was a symbol of our twin flame, which is our spirit and our memory and our knowledge. So really research the number 11 as well. The 2 spirit guides that are teaching you at this time is a unicorn and a white doe. These are your 2 spirit guides that are teaching you under the spirit of wisdom. You will then shift to the spirit of power and continue to expand your soul like the golden ratio.